Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Starry Tarot. Good to see you today. And we just received our first donation. Thank you so much, Miss Yadahu, for your donation, love. How are you doing today? And for those of you who may be new here, welcome and thank you so much for your subscription. My name is Sophie. If you are returning, welcome back and good to see you, such as Miss Yadahu. Hey, Donnie, I'm doing okay. How are you? I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm still at my parents' house. I'll be back at my place tomorrow. I don't think you've seen my normal setup at my. I think you discovered me very recently, like when I was here last week. Anyway, I'm going back to my place tomorrow in the city, and you'll see if you come back, you'll see the setup. I have you can see the cards and everything. Like I have 2 cameras. But anyway, hope you're doing well. I'm glad you're doing well or doing okay. How can I help you, love? And yes, I will mute and turn the camera off when I can. Yeah. Or you could even check out some of the older ones to get an idea of what it looks like. But yeah, it's 2 cameras, and yeah, I have one of the cards. And oh yeah, and we're still using. I also have I've got like 33, I think 33 decks at this point. I've just been using this deck for the past 2 weeks because I've been out of town. Or the past week because I've been out of town. Thank you. Will divine justice go in my favor? That is an excellent question. All right, we will be right back. All right. Let's see. Will divine justice be in your favor? We have 6 of Wands, the Sun, Queen of Wands, King of Cups, and Four of Swords reverse. That's a fat yes. That is a major yes for me. As you know, I read reversals. Not a lot of tarot readers do. I'm probably in the minority when it comes to that, but I do believe in reversals for sure. And the majority of these cards are uprights. But as I tell everybody, not all upright cards are good and not all reverse cards are bad. And this is precisely what I'm seeing here. These are wonderful cards. Six of Wands is a victory. That is an absolute yes card. V is for victory. Divine Providence will work in your favor. Absolutely. The Sun, truth, clarity, winning, dream fulfillment, dreams coming true. You being in, well, I don't know if you believe in God, but I do. You can call God whatever you want to call them. But the universe, if we want to call them that, you are divinely protected. You are definitely, I don't want to say in God's favor, the universe's favor, because that implies that there are people that are not, of which I think that might be the case. I think that when folks have a lot of karma that they need to scrape, so to speak, a lot of karma that they need to pay off, Divine Providence is in the favor of those who are good, those who have done well, and you have done well. Queen of Wands, in your actions, you've been fair to others. I'm not going to say you're a saint. I'm not going to sit here and say that you've never lied to anyone or you've never, done anything that was untoward. But for the most part, well, you're an Aquarius, girl. It's really hard for us to lie. So I would think that lying would be really difficult for you. Like, honestly, when I mean lying, I don't mean like when we were like kids and said, oh, I live in a castle, or my dad's the principal of the school, or my dad's the president. Those were the kind of lies I told when I was a kid. But have I ever lied to screw someone over? No. Have I ever manipulated? And I'm being very honest right here. And I think this is part of it too, is really examining yourself and how and just who you are as a person at this time, and how you've changed and how you've stayed the same, how you intend to be in the future. Again, I don't know you on a personal level very well at all. I only started reading for you about a week ago. But the vibe I get from you and the energy I get from you is very, very, very solid. I did go through a rough patch, and that's fine. That we all go through rough patches. I'm thinking about it myself. I was an addict for a few years. I've been clean for, wow, next month I'll be clean for 16 years. But when I was in my early 20s, I was an addict, and that when I was telling you, yeah, I've never, I don't intentionally screw people over. Well, when I was an addict, I almost got to that point. That's actually a big reason why I put myself in treatment, was because I was such a slave to my addiction that it was getting to the point where I was considering stealing, considering lying to people. And I was just like, whoa, this is someone I don't know. Like, I already was looking in the mirror and not seeing someone I knew because of the addiction. But then when it came to that, it was like, okay, I can't become that person. I can't become that kind of a person. And I wasn't even thinking about it in terms of karma. Like, if I behave that way, it's going to come back to me, because it would have. I was thinking about it in terms of treat others how you would like to be treated. I don't want to be screwed over by someone. And if I love someone who's an addict, I want to be there to help them. I don't want them to screw me over. And my friends, I did not use my friends. My friends were not addicts. And a lot of them stood by me. So yeah, I was not, when it crossed my mind to do untoward things to people, that's when I was like, no. Then I will, and I didn't even believe in God at that point. That was very, very early on in Sophie's life. I was agnostic. I was an atheist, but I didn't like fully believe in God like I do now. We've got this Queen of Wands, and then we have my favorite court card, the King of Cups. He is my favorite court card out of all of the court cards. He, in my opinion, the King of Cups has just as much wisdom as the Fool. The King of Cups, his throne is on the ocean. He's the only one whose throne is on the ocean. Like, even the Queen of Cups, she's kind of on the sand. She's on the shore. He's right smack dab in the middle of the ocean. And he has the wisdom of knowing that the ocean can be wildly crazy at times, but he also knows that it goes back to being placid. It goes back to being calm. No ocean is crazy forever. No ocean is calm forever. And if we want to use analogies here, life is never always easy breezy, and life is never always complicated. We go through, as you mentioned, rough patches. We go through periods of, well, that was a wonderful 5 years of my life, or that was a really difficult 5 years of my life. Yeah, the ocean is crazy. The ocean is crazy, and it's very much like everyday life. Goes up, goes down, and if we allow every wave to affect us emotionally, then we'll lose balance and we'll fall off of our throne. But the King of Cups knows, like, okay, this is wild, this is rocky, I have to really, like, use my muscles to, like, keep myself upright, but I can do this, and I know that probably come tomorrow morning, things will be placid and I won't have to worry about this. So yeah, it's really about maintaining your, maintaining your emotional equilibrium at this time, and the emotional equilibrium that you have maintained over the years. Is definitely serving you and will serve you in the long run in terms of divine justice and providence. The only card that kind of confused me a little bit is Four of Swords reverse, so I just want to get some clarity here. Because the Four of Swords is a card of meditation. It's literally about taking a step back and meditating. And it's one of those cards that's similar to the moon in that it's, when it's reversed, it's almost the same as its upright meaning. It's almost like doubled down. Like, really, let me get some. So before I read my book, I'm going to tell you what I think this means here. Spirit is asking you, and I believe Spirit has asked you in the past to meditate on what direction you want to go, your life's path, for you to introspectively look within yourself, which is one of the few things that they cannot do. They can hear your prayers, they can hear your wishes, they can hear your dreams. Speak to them. I don't know if you speak to your angels and your messengers and your spirit guides, but speak to them. They're listening. They're listening, and actually speak to them. They're listening, and they want to hear, and they want to help you out. And I think I've said it to you before. I think it was you. I say it to a lot of people, but I believe I said it to you. Is the more specific you can be about what you want to eventually manifest in your life, and yeah, to eventually manifest in your life, the easier it is for your angels to help you if you have a clearer idea. I think that's what this Four of Swords reversed is alluding to here. Awakening. Yeah, personal awakening. The asker is asked to take, the asker is asked to take time off to rest and recharge. To assess their daily life, their daily practices, their daily routines, incorporating mindfulness practices into one's routine. So I think those are very, very helpful suggestions, while extremely useful suggestions. And it's a pattern I have noticed in other readings of yours as well. But this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. If I had asked the same question for myself and got these cards, I'd be like, yes, like God loves me. Yeah, you are definitely definitely in God's divine providence. This is really beautiful energy, really beautiful. So yeah, that is what I am seeing for you, Miss Yadahu. Thank you so much for your donation, love. I appreciate you, and hope that brought you some clarity, some peace. I'm not here to bring peace to people, but when I can, I hope I can. Because yeah, that's a wonderful answer there. You're very welcome. You are very welcome, love. All right, so the donation queue is once again open. And I can answer any of your questions with the exception of medical and or legal questions. If that is the nature of your question, please consult a professional on either of those matters. My basic menu of readings can be found pinned at the bottom of the chat, starting with my basic mini reading. That is one question, and it consists of 5 cards, and that is a donation amount of $7.77 if you donate using PayPal, Cashapp, or Venmo. If you need to use SuperChat, it is $9.99. And then I offer my full reading. That is 10 cards, and that can be a full, just one reading, or split into 2 5-card readings, 2 questions, and that is a donation amount of $14.14, unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it's $20.20. And then I offer my in-depth or expanded reading, which I highly, highly recommend. That consists of 15 cards. It can be just one question, split into 2 questions, one 10-card reading and one 5-card reading, or split into 3 individual 5-card readings. And that is a donation amount of $21.21, unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $29.29. And I'd say the majority of the questions that I ask do revolve around love and romance. Not always. Obviously, I answer all sorts of questions. I answer questions pertaining to spirituality and career and finance. All sorts of questions. I've helped people find missing items as well. But my OG love reading, yes. My clients love the OG love reading. I developed that right before starting my professional tarot practice about 5.5 years ago. And it's at no additional donation amount. It's just simply a reading suggestion. It can be done with a mini reading, a full reading, or an in-depth reading. And it answers 5 questions in one, basically. It answers what your person's current thoughts are towards you, their current feelings towards you, their current intentions towards you, their general energies towards the connection between you and them, and your general energies between the connection between you and them. So it's very in-depth, very comprehensive, and answers more than one question in one, which most readers don't do. And this is one of those exceptions. You just get deep and comprehensive as to how someone is regarding you, and it doesn't necessarily even have to be a romantic partner or a romantic interest. That I've done the OG love reading for people's coworkers, bosses, friends, family members, pets, roommates, all sorts of people. If you are just curious about how someone is regarding you, I highly recommend that reading. I also offer soulmate confirmation readings. Those also don't necessarily have to be of a romantic context. They often are when I have done my soulmate confirmation readings, and they're pretty self-explanatory. They can be asked in one of 2 ways. The first way that we ask is we directly ask your angels, messengers, and spirit guides if the person who you are connected with is indeed a soulmate of yours. If the answer is yes, they'll explain why and in what context. If the answer is no, they'll explain why not. And then alternatively, if you don't want to just ask directly, you can always ask your angels, messengers, and spirit guides if they give their divinely ordained blessing towards the connection between the two of you. And if the answer is yes, that is definitely a romantic soulmate confirmation there. And that consists of 10 cards and is a donation amount of $16.16 if you donate with Cashapp, PayPal, or Venmo. If you need to use SuperChat, it's $23.23. And I also offer past life regression therapy readings. That's something I've been studying for a very long time since I was very, very young. I realized I did it prior to my professional tarot practice. I would use guided meditation or hypnosis. But I discovered a couple of years into my private practice, or my professional practice of tarot, that I was able to channel people's past lives through tarot. And they are endlessly fascinating. There's really no limit to the intent behind what we can ask for your past life. We can ask for, the most common one is asking Spirit to illustrate a past life of yours that can help you navigate this life most effectively. We can ask Spirit to illustrate a past life of yours that can explain an irrational fear, a recurring dream or nightmare, a certain proclivity towards something, but Spirit has the answers. Past lives have the answers. They're very, very fascinating. And that is a 10-card reading. It is a donation amount of $19.19, unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it's $27.27. I also offer mediumship readings. I'm not able to do so today. I will once I get back to my place tomorrow. I don't have my materials needed in order for me to do mediumship readings, but if that is something, if you would like to communicate with a loved one who has passed on, I would be honored to read for you once I get back to my place. I do need their name, their date of birth, their date of passing, and their relation to you. It's super helpful if you can provide me with a photograph, but it's not mandatory. But it does help me get into communication with them. 95% of the time I can communicate with those who have passed on. 5% of the time I cannot. Sometimes people have reincarnated. Sometimes people are just not able to communicate with me. But most of the time I can. But I don't want to disappoint anyone, so I do want people to just let me know before, and so I can check before sending their donation. And it does not cost anything for me to check to see if your loved one is indeed available to communicate with. I also offer private readings. I offer 2 different types of private readings. I offer them by appointment only. Please email me if you would like to schedule one. You can email me, or you can send me a DM over Instagram. Here is my Instagram. You should all go follow me. And that is over Zoom. It is one-on-one. It's on your schedule. It's private. It's not broadcast. It's not over a live stream. So it offers you that privacy that you need, the convenience. You can give me all the backstory and context that you feel is necessary. There's no limit to the number of questions that I can answer for you, so long as it's within the allotted time. And even then, we can usually extend it if we need to. Yeah, we can get deep. I highly recommend everyone get at least one private reading. It helps you understand me better as a reader, helps me understand you better. And yeah, it's just one-on-one. You see me, see the cards, hear me, I can hear you, I can see you if you want me to. And yeah, it's just one-on-one and private. And then alternatively, I also offer private readings at no additional donation amount. If you don't see me online for a few days and you have a question that you need me to answer, simply send me your donation with your question and I can answer that for you. At the very longest in 24 hours, but I can usually get back to you in about 1 to 3 hours with your answer, and I do those over voice memos, over DMs, over Instagram, or typed via email. So yeah, and those are for reasons of, again, privacy. It's not broadcast over a live stream, and it's also on your convenience. If you don't see me online, I always have a deck of cards on me, and I can always answer your question for you. If you have a question you need an answer, I'm here. And on that note, the donation queue is open. So whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you all so very much. And we just received a donation from Yadahu. Thank you so much, love, for your additional donation. Thank you. Let me go ahead here. All right, love, please go ahead and post your question. Thank you. Okay, how best to move forward in your life? Okay. And let me go back and mute this 1 second. All right, love, let's see here. We have Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Six of Cups reversed, the Emperor reversed, and Eight of Swords reversed. Okay, we've got 2 pages here. 2 pages. I think the first time that I read for you, I think it was the first time that I read for you, you mentioned that you were considering going back to school. And I think I mentioned that the the court cards of the pages are typically seen as the students, the learners. Page, knights, queens, kings are the court cards. Page, it's the beginning of the court card, so it's like starting that journey. It's somewhat similar to the aces, in that they're new beginnings. Page is venturing forth on a new beginning. And so starting with these first two, starting with this Page of Cups, Page of Cups is moving forward in the direction of, cups are the realm of emotions, cups are the realm of communication, and in this case, I'm feeling creativity. I don't know if you're an artist or if you're a creative individual. You don't need to be an artist to be a creative individual. But Page of Cups is really about identifying what really inspires Yahoo? What really inspires you? And I think that also goes back to that Four of Swords that we keep on seeing the Spirit recommending that you search for not all of the answers, but a lot of the answers that I think that you're looking for. The message that I keep on seeing a lot from Spirit is that a lot of it is already within you. In fact, starting with the first reading I did for you, I remember we had the High Priestess reversed. And that symbolized two things. You wanting to attain more knowledge, but the High Priestess reversed is also about listening to your intuition, listening to what's within you, listening to your soul, really paying attention to your dreams, your literal dreams and your daydreams, but really examining the world around you, the individuals around you, and like kind of, I think I mentioned this to you before, like when it comes, if you're looking for a new job, think about the jobs that you see people having where you go, damn, like I'd be really good at that, or I'd really like to do that. That is definitely the direction, one of the directions that Spirit wants you to go, is to identify, because I can't tell you what brings you inspiration. I can't tell you what inspires you to, I don't want to say to live, but to create, to expand on your life, to really evaluate those things that really inspire you. Page of Pentacles. This is all about you. This is Spirit saying, girl, you've got the motivation, you've got the drive, you've got the focus. Go forth. And the Page of Pentacles is also very much out of the 4 pages, the Page of Pentacles is known as the, like, really the student, the academic, the learner, the one who is seeking knowledge as to how to bring pentacles into their lives, how to ideally attain their money, your money, your stability, your material wealth, going forward in that direction, really identifying, again, certain jobs that you would like to have, or certain areas of study that you would like to explore, that would lead to that. Definitely lots of suggestions of introspection here, and faith, but also from your spirit guides, faith in your knowledge, in knowing, like, what makes you tick, what like, if and I think I've asked you this question before. I've definitely asked other clients this question before, like, if you could design your ideal life, what would it look like? If there were no constraints in your life whatsoever, time, money, energy, whatever, what would your ideal life look like? Now, realistically, we all have constraints in our lives. So that's looking at, like, the big dream picture, right? And there may be some aspects of that big dream picture that are not immediately attainable at this time, but you can attain in the future with the right foundation, setting the right foundations, the right pentacles, the right, like, stable foundation there to get to that point. Six of Cups reversed. Now, this is Spirit saying, this is Spirit suggesting suggesting that you may be, you might not be harnessing the present moment as much as you should be at this time. The present moment is all we have. If the Six of Cups reversed is often indicative of someone who is, I don't want to say stuck in the past, but I don't feel like you're stuck in the past, but I do think that there are some, especially with you being a young lady, I think there are some aspects of, and this goes for every human being. We draw from our past experiences to glean insight into our current situation. But that can also be detrimental to us. I think a good example of that, an anecdotal example I can give you for me would be, and I might have even told you this before, but when I was like right out of college, I graduated into recession, and I kind of got into I got into this mindset that I just wouldn't be able to find a job. That mindset, or like my ideal job, that mindset, I don't know if it's, I'll be honest, I don't feel like that mindset's completely gone with me. That's a trauma that I need to work through. And the best, and I have been working through it, and the best way that I have been working through it is realizing that the past is the past, the future is the future, the present is all we have. And if we focus on the past, that can lead to depression, regret. If we focus too much on the future in a worrisome way, that can often lead to anxiety. The best way to stay is to stay in the present moment and make the most of every moment that you are currently living in. And to not, again, to do your very best to not compare your past experiences to your journey forwards in your life from this point on, from this very second on, to do your very best to not bring or to not assume negative things that happened in the past will repeat themselves. There's no way we can predict that, and sometimes if we worry about that, and I'm not saying you are, but if that's the case, if you are concerned that past things will repeat themselves, sometimes that we can bring that to ourselves. There is a lot to be said about the oh my God, why am I blanking on the power of positive thinking? It's really a matter of science. I mean, like attracts like. If we're in a mindset that things are not going to work out for us, it's not always the case, but a lot of the times things tend to crumble. If the people who I know that are the most successful and the happiest, even in the darkest times, they remain optimistic, realistically optimistic, but still optimistic, and do their best to not apply negativity from the past to their present. And then we have this Emperor reversed here, which I actually need a little bit of clarity on. This is the one card that's not thrilling me, but it's not that it's not thrilling me. It's definitely a message from Spirit, a suggestion here. Yeah, the Emperor reversed. Yeah, lack of self-control. It can often be indicative of a lack of self-control or an inability to handle situations on a personal level, lacking discipline, lacking concentration, lacking focus. Now, with this Page of Pentacles, especially next to this Page of Cups, this is telling me that while you may have some issues with focus right now, once you identify what inspires you and gets you going, like that motivation, that focus will absolutely be present. If you're feeling a lack of motivation or a lack of focus or a lack of direction at this time, it has nothing to do with you as a human being. It has to do with, from what I'm seeing and what I've been observing with my readings with you, is that the answers, a lot of the answers that I believe you're searching for are within. And that can be a tough one. That can be a tough one with intuition. A lot of people doubt their intuition, including myself sometimes, even as a tarot reader, not as a tarot reader, but in my life in general, sometimes I wonder, is this intuition or am I just imagining things? And I think really getting in touch with your third eye, balancing your chakras, especially your third eye chakra, will really, really help you get in touch with your 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 subconscious, um, your subconscious desires, dreams, hopes, the way you want to see your life manifest. I believe that's all within you. And that's what I'm seeing in these cards here, is that it is within you. And the moment that you are able to identify it, like I would scream it out loud, like speak it forth, like angels, messengers, spirit guides, like this is the direction I want to go. I'm motivated. I've decided this is the direction I want to go. Take it from here, and they will meet you halfway. You know, that's their job, is but they need to know more specifically what it is that you're wanting, the direction you're wanting to move in your life, the way that you want your life to manifest itself, at least at this time in the present moment. And that's, I think, also really important, is to just focus on the present moment. Big picture, yes, that's great. Say you decide that you want to be a doctor, for example. That's wonderful. But we've got to stay in the present moment. Staying in the present moment would be researching what are the first steps. And, you know, I would imagine getting your pre-med for undergrad, different programs within your, I don't know what country you live in, but I'm not going to dox you here. But looking at the programs in where you live, and I just threw doctor out there. I don't know if you want to be a doctor at all, but I'm just using that as an example. Identifying that big long-term dream, but starting at the very base points here. And then we have this beautiful Eight of Swords reverse. This is hands down my favorite reversal card. I hate it. I hate it when it's upright. Eight of Swords is about feeling imprisoned, feeling bound, feeling basically bondage, feeling bound. The traditional artwork is a woman who's blindfolded, she can't see. She's bound, her arms are bound, and she's got 8 swords and like stuck in the ground around her. But what she doesn't know is that she's actually not tied very tightly. If she were just to wriggle a little bit, she would be able to get out of the binds. Then she'd be able to take off her blindfold, and then she'd be able to probably like shimmy through 2 of the swords. When it's in its reversed form, this is saying that you may feel bound by certain constrictions in your life, and you may very well be bound by certain constrictions in your life. But what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling from this card is that even if you are, those bindings, those ties that bind, are not as tight as you think that they are. Going back to me describing this card in its upright position, they're not the binds that you think that you think might be holding you back are not nearly as constrictive as you think they are. You're a lot freer than you think you are. And with this Emperor reverse card, I would also argue that you have more agency than you think you have. I think that's another part of it, is in terms of like focus, moving things forward. It's not so much a matter of you not focusing or not having the drive or the energy, what have you. It's more you just have not identified it yet. Once you identify it, that's like you will set off in like your wings. You will fly and soar like on the wings of your dreams. And that's and quite literally. Like really listen to your dreams. And I don't tell this to many people. I rarely say this to clients. It's not that I don't believe in the power of dreams. I do. I've had prophetic dreams. I've had visions in dreams. Very, very, very amazing visions. But I'd say the majority of my dreams are, even when they do feel very, very emotional, a lot of them are just me processing a lot of my subconscious thoughts. But within that, sometimes processing those and recognizing those subconscious thoughts that we are processing in our dreams are actually very, very useful for us. I've definitely identified things in my dreams that weren't necessarily prophetic, but helped me navigate my course better, in my life in general. But in your case, a message I keep on getting is that your dreams, regardless of whether they actually are heaven sent or just regular dreams, because I believe there are two different types of dreams. I think both are very, very valid and very, very insightful. And I don't know if you keep a dream journal, but I think that would be a great start here, hon. Because I keep on seeing the Four of Swords with in a lot of your readings. As I mentioned, that's meditation, dreaming, meditation. And I keep on getting these messages from Spirit that the knowledge is within you in terms of the direction that you want to go. And I don't know if you've tried meditation before. There's so many different types. It can be overwhelming. There's so many different types of meditation. I think they're all very useful. And the most basic one is sleep. It's nothing that you have to learn. We all do it every day. And I think it's a good start for meditation. But I also think exploring different types of meditation, especially in terms of like intention-based meditation, like meditation that is specifically geared towards uncovering and revealing like our true dreams, our true desires. Because that can be, I don't remember exactly how old you are again, but that was a real tough one for me when I was in my early 20s, was even after I'd gone to college and thought I figured out what I wanted to do, there were still just so many different directions, and you don't have to decide immediately. That's the other thing is you can take your time, and that's really quite prudent, I think, to take one's time and not to just jump right into something, because it's good to explore and figure out that that's the direction you really do indeed want to be going. So exploration, not just meditatively and within your mind, but I also think exploration, of course, researching things that you're curious about exploring, in terms of moving forward, and also connecting with people in IRL, who might be part of a community that you're interested in, or a type of spirituality, or a type of job that you might be interested in. But I know there's something wonderful out there for you, and I believe you already have the answer, and I think it's going to come to you soon. I just think it's going to take some introspection, and I don't think it will take. Yeah, I don't think it'll take long, but it's when it does come to you, it's going to be like a eureka moment, which I've definitely had in my life, and it's very rewarding. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing for you, love. Thank you very, very much for your donations. I really appreciate you, and hope I brought you clarity, and much love and light to you, and good luck on your journey. And if you want any advice on different types of meditation, feel free to reach out to me. I got involved in transcendental meditation about 5 years ago. Started studying that. And I also really like chakra balancing meditation. There's a lot of great YouTube videos. In fact, that's like the spa music that I play when I'm like not reading. It's chakra balancing music. It's very, very meditative, very good. Thank you so much again, love. Much love and light to you. All right, so I've been on for a little over 2 hours, so I'm going to do a last call for all donations tonight. if you have a question that you would like me to answer for you, I am here. You're so welcome. You're very welcome. Last call for all donations. Yeah, I found my favorite flavor of poppy soda, the cream soda. I can only find it out near my parents' house for some reason. But it is good. It is good stuff. Last call, everybody, for any and all donations. Thank you. Last call tonight for all donations. Thank you. Last call for any and all donations this evening. Thank you very much. Last call tonight for all donations. Thank you. All right, looks like everyone is happy and taken care of. Thank you all so very much, and I will see you all again soon.